Hey, you guys.
Hello.
We also have a special guest right now.
This is Willow. She's not gonna look up, but she's here. So hope you
Yes.
guys are well.
Mhm.
As we let y'all know last week, we had something special in
Yes.
store for you guys, in lieu of a murder mini that
Mhm.
we weren't able to do.
Yeah, so some things came up. We had fired, we called the fire department. Everyone was fine.
Everyone's fine.
Nothing burned down.
No.
But
People, property, all is fine.
it gave us an idea. First off, because we couldn't record the murder mini.
Right.
But then we're like, what would be a better way to end out the year than just another murder mini? Why not do a year in review?
Yes. So, because you guys are so amazing and have been supporting us since day one,
Yeah.
we decided to do just a review of all of our episodes.
Yes.
We're not going to go into like super detail of all of the episodes.
We are. This is going to be a 55-hour live stream. Sorry.
Yeah. We have had a lot of coffee. No, I'm just kidding. We actually could probably use some coffee right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I could go. But
anyway.
Instead, we have something better, which is
yes,
wine.
of course. And do you want to tell a story about how we got this?
Yeah. So we were actually visiting family today in Central Texas. We saw them on our way back.
Yeah.
We were like, ooh, it'd be great to stop by just like a cute little winery that's in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
And so I Googled, okay, we're about to drive through Valley Mills. Let me look for Valley Mills wine. Oh, there's a Valley Mills winery.
Yep.
So we stopped by, and the outside's very unassuming. It's this like metal building. And it's like, okay. We walked in, gorgeous. Like the way they'd set it up, they had all the barrels. It was their tasting room.
In the back and
they had like lights and a tree, and
beautiful
it was
Christmas
so
decorations.
fun.
Very inviting, very warm.
And they gave us free blankets to like use while we were in there.
Yeah,
because it's where they store
really
the wine.
cozy.
So I assume that's why it was chilly.
It's chilly in there.
Also, it's winter.
Oh.
Yep.
That's actually also going to happen. Did not think about it. Sorry, there was a dog that barked outside, and
honey, baby.
This is real life.
This is Here, okay, honey. Shh. Max wants to sit on my lap, and Charlie, can you please stop?
Come on.
Yes. They were upset that we didn't take them to the winery, is I think what they just told us. But no, it was really nice, and it was... Oh, I guess, y'all have never seen them, other than the Instagram post. This is Max. He's my boy. I love him.
And this is Charlie. This is my baby. And he's...
wet.
He's wet. We just gave him a bath. Did we clean it off his neck enough?
Probably. So,
anyway, sorry. So, yes, we're going to do our year in review. That was back. The dog's really distracted me.
So, we, anyways,
the wine.
loved the winery, and we actually joined their wine club, which is how much we loved the wine.
It was delicious and, like, very affordable. The bottles with the wine club membership, which you get a 15% off discount. It's like it was like 17 to 30, depending on the wine, because they did have a lot of, some of their really wine club special ones. But this one that we're drinking tonight is the Bedrock, and it's 2014.
Let me do
is that 2014?
Makeup Beauty Guru.
Did I say it right here?
2014, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a red blend.
It's Malbec and Tempranillo, which they are known for their Tempranillo.
Yes.
Which is so exciting, because Tempranillo is probably my favorite.
Just wine in general.
Grape.
Yeah. We actually got a bottle of that as well.
Yes.
So we will be featuring them on an episode coming up in January. But we wanted to give you all a little bit of a sneak peek. We'll pretty much say all that information in the episode as well. But
yeah, well, I'll get your glass.
Yes.
Since you have the child. Let's do a cheers.
Yes, and these are our Valley Mills.
Oh yeah, we got
the
glasses, which love the logo. It's so fun.
It.
It's like a VMV, but it's a wine glass.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
All right. Cheers. good.
It's so good. So, one thing, this is one that we tried at the vineyard, and we were like, we're buying this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has, one thing I noticed then, and still now, it has, like, the smell and, like, an aftertaste of, like, brie rind.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It works really well with the wine. It's it's full-bodied, it's fruity, it's earthy.
Very earthy. I would say that's a good...
Which, I mean, it's called Bedrock, so...
Yes. And on the back, I was trying to read it, and it was just saying that naturally made wines cannot help but reflect the land from which they came. This concept is apparent in the alkaline chemistry and mineral notes that limestone-based soils impart on our wines. Bedrock is a well-balanced, barrel-aged red blend which reflects our belief in the significance of terroir.
No, I think it's Terroir.
Terrier?
Terroir. It's not terrier. It's not Max.
It's like, that's a dog. Terroir?
Terroir.
Whatever. Anyway, so yes, the limestone, that minerally, you can absolutely taste that minerally finish.
Really good.
So it's great wine.
I guess with that, let's jump into our topic, which is all the topics. So we have, in case you're all like, why do they keep looking down? It's because 33 episodes is a lot to remember. It's a lot to remember. So we do have just like the names and which episodes to go by.
Yes.
But yeah, so episode 1 was our favorite serial killer.
That one was let's start this podcast off with a bang, with like a super
long episode.
Super long, super heavy. Yeah. I did Dahmer and
I did Gary Ridgway.
And that one was, we didn't know how much information, how to distill, and we both picked 2 that have so much information, and it was pretty interesting, and we were super excited for our first episode, and that's why we picked that topic. And Dahmer cannibal, the Milwaukee cannibal, killed 17 and like ate them.
Yeah, Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, killed possibly up to the 90s.
Yeah, a lot.
Women in the Seattle and just the Western Washington area, which God, I mean, starting that with a bang.
Starting it out with a huge freaking bang.
That one was a lot, but I think it was a great one to start with.
I think so too.
And it was before we got better at editing, so it's a great episode, I think, but
our recording skills have definitely improved since episode 1. Yeah. But then episode 2,
yes,
we
still kept
murders. Yeah, we did gateway murder. Still kept it pretty big. Yeah. And
because this was the murders that I guess kind of
like
first introduced us to true crime.
That
really interested. Yeah.
And so it was our gateway into true crime, not theirs. But I did the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short, still unsolved to this day.
Just crazy.
I know, and the brutality of that murder is just it's crazy. Yeah. Like that, she was just the way she was found, split in 2, which is just horrifying. It really, really is horrifying.
Yeah. So, well, and I did Patrick Sherrill, who is I guess this was the first case that either of us did that was like less known. He shot up the Edmond post office in Edmond, Oklahoma, where we grew up. So that was like the big how I got introduced to it.
Well, and the thing is, people don't necessarily know that case, but they know, going postal.
Yeah, the phrase going postal.
That's literally what that's from. And I mean, I remember I knew the phrase before I knew where it originated.
Oh, yeah. I knew the phrase, and then finding out that it's from where we grew up, which is not a big town.
What?
And is one of the things that in any movie would be like, it's a boring, sleepy town where nothing ever happens, and things happen.
Things happen.
So, jumping into episode 3, Poison.
Yes, Poison. This one, we, wanted to do this episode because it's for the most part, I think a lot of female killers choose poison as their mode of death.
Mode of murder?
Mode of murder, M-O-M.
Weapon?
Mom's mode of murder. Mom.
Okay.
Anyway, so I did Vera Vinci, and she was the one who killed the men, like poisoned their wine, killed like 30 men because she felt that they were going to leave her.
Was she the one that put them in like baked goods, or is that coming up later?
That's coming up later. She put them in coffins and put them in her basement.
Like Cask of Amontillado style.
Yeah. However, turns out a lot of people think that it didn't really happen and she's not real. But you know what? I choose to. Still wanted to do that one because it was really fascinating, and even if it didn't happen, it was more like this like femme fatale, like crazy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Mine was real though. So it was. I chose Janine Jones, she was a nurse in Bexar County, Texas. It's spelled Bexar, and our entire family was like, "Where's Bexar County? Never heard of it." And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Abandoned the podcast.
Yeah, so it is Bexar County. I apologize
we know now.
Why would I do that? Who knows?
Which we know we mispronounce things more
often
often than we would like. It happens. There's one thing. It's one of those things where like you can practice and study and know something, and then when you're actually saying it out loud, you say it wrong, and at a certain point you're just like, oh crap, I think I've said this like 3 different ways in this episode, and you just go on with it.
See, the Bexar County, that's a hill I will die on though, because why would I know that? Why would I pronounce Bexar as bear? But it's fine. X's are silent sometimes, I guess.
Yeah. So so Janine Jones, which actually was in the news fairly recently. Remember, I found that article that she was being convicted of more murders.
Yes. So at the time of the research, she was convicted of killing 2, but suspected of killing more than 60, and these were babies that she murdered because she's a monster. And
she's a monster.
Like wanted fame and murdered babies. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. So, Janine.
Oh, God. Next episode. Small Town Slaughters.
This one, if y'all want to listen to this one, it's a real heavy one.
It was... All of our episodes are heavy.
They're all heavy.
This one, though, really hit home with it.
Ty's case, it stuck with me.
Yeah, like, today, it's still one that I'm like...
I know.
God.
I still have trouble like listening about that case, and but anyway, so I guess we're talking about your case. So
mine was the murder of Georgia Cruz, who was this little girl, small town in Florida. She went to the convenience store and never came home. Yeah, and her case is cold. It's unsolved. Her body was found.
It hurts my heart.
Horribly mutilated. I mean it.
Yeah.
But it's still unsolved. The town doesn't know who did it, but knows that someone in the town knows something. And God, yeah. Yeah.
And then I did the Coons family murders, which was an entire family that was found murdered. One of the sons came home, found his parents, siblings, everyone shot and dead. I guess his mom was missing, so he found his dad. Yeah. His mom was missing, and so of course he became the first victim. And then a few months later, they found the mom, and so it was like, did she do it and then kill herself?
Oh, the first suspect. And he was the first suspect?
Yeah, he was the first suspect.
She said first victim, and I was like...
Sorry.
I remember that part.
He was the first suspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, and it's still never technically been solved because the guy that they think could have potentially done it is in prison for something else. I think that's what that was.
I think so.
Or that he'd already been tried for it and he was found not guilty, so because of double jeopardy, like he can't be retried. But it's just it was a slaughter, and also there was like incest in the family and like
that was a weird
things that could potentially be going on. And
it's true. All right, episode 5, unconventional murder weapons. So this one, I think, was our
harder to research than we thought it would be.
Yeah, and I think this one was our first like more out there kind of topic.
Yes, I think it was.
You know, other ones we'd done were, I think, very like, oh, when you think true crime and murder, you think small towns, or you think our favorite serial killers or poison or things like that. This one, though, unconventional murder weapons, it went into the very interesting kind of category, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this one was hard to research and hard to find because some of the, like, all the lists of, like, murder weapons that were used in crazy ways are, like, the same 8 cases over and over.
Yep.
And it's like a spoon, stuff. And I'm like...
oh, yeah, that one was weird. We didn't do that one. But there was one where...
A dude, like, threw a spoon at someone.
It hit him the wrong way, and they died.
Just...
also
horrifying.
Terrifying. Know that when you start throwing things at your siblings.
Don't throw spoons?
Well, or just things. You could hit them wrong. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. But mine was Ana Trujillo. She killed her boyfriend, Stefan Anderson, with her high heel. And, I mean, like, brutal. Like, blood everywhere. And it went into, you know, was this an abusive relationship? What was going on that caused this, or just all of that? It was awesome. High heel, though.
Well, and I found there's a picture of her high heels
from
the murder trial.
Yeah, we have that on our blog,
right? They're on the blog. So we are still working on the blog. I want to get all of our show notes up there, but when we first started doing our notes, we didn't know we were going to turn them into a blog. So we essentially are having to rewrite about 10 episodes each of our notes. And it's just taken some time. We'd rather give y'all episodes than notes, but promise you guys they will be up there eventually. But you can go and find that photo.
Yes. We're up to episode 6 or 7 on the blog.
Yeah, there's 6 episodes on there right now. And I did, so jumping into what mine was James Paul Harris, who killed James Garrity with a guitar string. And what was the word again that I kept having to ask you? It's when you decapitate someone with like a string.
It's a garrote.
Garrote. I think it's garrote.
That's one of those.
Yeah.
Honey, don't please. We're in the middle of recording a video.
But yeah, that one was pretty intense because the skull was found, the body never was. Apparently he was very into voodoo, and he was in prison somewhere else for something, and it went on and on. It was bizarre.
Yeah. That was, like I said, interesting episode.
It was an interesting episode.
All right. So, episode 6, Indiscriminate Killings.
This one was a good one. This was one of Ty's picks, and I remember I was like, okay, but what do you mean?
Yeah.
You gotta explain that. Like, I know.
You got kind of angry when I was like this, and you were like, I don't... They kind of all are. And I'm like, well, okay, just give me a second.
I know, I did. I remember saying that. But I did the Dartmouth murders, which was when Harold, Half and Suzanne Zantop, 2 professors, were killed by 2 high school students, James Parker and Robert Tulloch. And these 2 boys were wanting to run away from home and run to Australia, and so they felt that they needed to steal $10,000.
Which will get you
nowhere. And they were wanting to steal it, and anyway, they ended up murdering them. And it was brutal. It was senseless. And, Robert ended up he was like the mastermind, and James eventually like turned him in, he was like, oh my God, what did they do? And I don't know. It was intense. Intense. And Robert was sentenced to life.
I think so, yeah.
Because he was a minor. He was 17.
And when the Supreme Court case...
Yeah.
Which I cannot remember the name of, but we mentioned it quite a few times. Yeah. That minors sentenced to life in prison deserve to have their cases retried.
Yes. And Robert was, and I believe they still convicted him to life in prison. So.
But the case I chose for this one, and indiscriminate killings, just meaning like victims at random kind of thing. There's no rhyme or reason of who.
Yeah.
Mine was the Chicago Tylenol murders, which had a huge impact on the pill industry.
Kaczynski.
I mean, it could have been. It's unsolved. He's still don't know.
Big suspect.
There were, I believe, 6 deaths, and I want to say 4 from the same family.
Yes.
Which
I thought there were 7 deaths.
It might have been 7. It was 6 or 7.
It was a lot. It was crazy, and
how many there were from the same family? That is horrifying.
Heartbreaking that 2 of them went. They had headaches because of everything that was going on with the funerals and the deaths, and
they took Tylenol and
Tylenol.
died. But yeah, and that one is so interesting because it's like, where did the poisoning happen? Was it in the stores?
And how? And what did they do?
Yeah, and just why?
Yeah,
like why do this?
Yeah,
oh god, I just saw the next episode.
Yeah, this was my topic.
It was.
Episode 7 was A Taste of Cannibalism. Which is when I was trying to be witty with the title.
Yeah, we did that for a while, trying to be witty, trying to be...
Now we're a little bit more straightforward. So you know what you're getting. And, yeah, this one I did Issei Sagawa, who killed Renee... Hardevelt?
I think so. I don't know, you're the one who speaks French.
I'm so sorry. I could not find her name said out loud. But he was just obsessed with what I was saying, not funny. Kitty, funny. He was obsessed with wanting to eat a woman. You know, he was this smaller man who, thought maybe he could get power and size from eating a woman. He was obsessed with white women. He ended up luring her. I guess not really luring her because they were classmates. She came over to study. He kills her and then starts eating her. And I guess after a couple days or after he'd eaten some, he decided to get rid of the rest of her, dismembers her, I guess finishes, shoves her in a suitcase. But the most sickening part of this is the fact that he is not in prison. Yeah. He is out. He has become this celebrity. And I don't know, you can easily find interviews with him online. He's very open about what he did. He's been on cooking shows, which is fucking disgusting. Excuse me. It really is. And, yeah, so that one's rough. And that has to do with international, like, who's in charge of what. And, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And there is an article in... Oh, shoot. What was this? Was it Volt or something? Ooh.
Vice?
Vice. Yes, it was Vice. There's an interview with him, and in the middle of it, like, the interviewer is asking questions. He's like, well, I just really want to get through these questions so I can get the fuck out of here, because he was so creeped out by Issei's answers.
Yeah.
And because, like, Issei went to, like, gory details of like what he was doing, why he was doing it, and just it was too much.
Yeah.
Reading that article was hard.
Yep. I have not read the article and not going to.
It made me nauseous, and with all of the stuff that we like read, and it just was.
So mine was the killing of Tim McLean. McLean was he was on a bus, a Greyhound bus, and one of the other passengers, Vince Lee, just got up and started stabbing him and attacking him. And, bus stops, everyone else gets off the bus, and he starts eating this guy. Mm-hmm. And all these people on the side of the highway being like, watching this.
Yeah, watching it happen.
And he was just, this guy, I had like a break, like just start eating someone. Don't eat people.
Don't eat people. They're not food.
No,
they're not
people. Our next episode, because I'm done with cannibalism.
Done.
Instead.
Done.
Was I don't even. What was the original title? Bomb in Brighton and Disaster in Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But JFK and Margaret Thatcher.
Mm-hmm. And that was our 4th of July episode. Mm-hmm. And
Britain versus America kind of 4th of July.
It was super intimidating to do that one because JFK is the one I did, and there are so many theories and the investigation and just everything in that is so detailed and so deep that it's really hard to give an overview of it. But yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK, and you looked at me like I said the wrong name, and I had
no, you didn't.
I was like, wait, what? No, I said the right name. And then, sorry guys, I keep itching my nose. Cedar fever has hit Austin really bad. And
I learned what Caesar fever was not that long
ago. It's from the salad.
Fever.
It's from the salad. Okay. If you have too much Caesar salads, you get sick.
Then I'm fucked. But no, cedar fever.
Cedar fever. So it has really been coming in the last few days. And so if I sneeze, it's probably going to happen. But yeah.
Pollen. It's crazy.
Pollen is all up my nose, is so itchy right now.
I'm fine. I guess I don't get allergies. I'm stronger.
He hasn't lived in Austin long enough. For those who know, you know. Charlie's still right here. Hey, baby.
He's still here. He doesn't want to be on camera.
And Willow is right back here. You know, we all just want to be on the video.
It's true. But yeah, so you covered JFK, and I covered the attempted assassination of Margaret Thatcher when a bomb was detonated by the IRA in the Brighton Hotel. Didn't kill her somehow.
Thankfully.
Yes. I mean, regardless of your views on Margaret Thatcher, she is a problematic person to be, I mean, for sure, like most everyone is in some ways. But, you know, still glad she didn't die.
Of course.
Always don't murder people. Like, we say it multiple times, don't murder people. Don't do it.
Don't murder people. Conflict resolution in other ways.
Communication can solve
the best way to go.
So many problems. Don't drink my wine, Charlie. So, jumping into episode 9, Homicide at Home. And this was the one with our first guest.
And Tyler got so mad.
I'm still bitter because I know I should have won.
Oh, yeah.
And so this one, the title, I guess, doesn't really lead too much into the topic, but it was people who killed their parents.
Which is called...
the idea. Parricide.
Parricide, not patricide.
Patricide is killing your father. Matricide is killing your mother. Parricide is killing your parents.
So,
yes.
By the way, guys, we love... corrections, just like let us know. We're never going to be like offended if you correct us.
I said the wrong word.
Well, because we're human and we make error, and like I said, this is not like we're not investigators. We're not, so we mispronounce, and we do our best. Like we really do try to. What?
It's each other's head, little. Just poke it up in the.
Oh yeah, well, we really do try to do our best. But we're not perfect. And anyway, so just let us know if there are things that we say wrong. Please let us know. Yeah. We appreciate constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
So, but wait, what was I answering that to?
Parricide. Anyway, so my case was the murder of Jesus Mariano, or Ismenia, as she was known by friends. She was murdered by her son, Roberto Martinez Mariano. Yeah. And he murders his mother. He throws his 4-year-old brother into a river. And his 11-month-old brother, he throws him into a dumpster.
But the 11-month-old survives, yeah?
The 11-month-old survived. The 4-year-old brother did not survive. But, yeah, that, I just, holy shit. Not only murdering your mother, but your siblings. Your, baby siblings.
That one was dark.
Yeah.
It was super dark.
It was.
And the one I did was the Menendez brothers, Lyle and Eric, who killed their parents, Jose and Kitty. And this one was all over the news. They killed their parents, yet, they were convicted of killing their parents, but before they were, the innocent victims, they were calling, and then they started spending all the money. Yeah. And
it was just very... suspicious.
And it came out that they were the ones who did it. They ended up being in prison with OJ at a certain point in time. and like they talk to him all the time. Like there's this weird like
OJ was like the like father figure for them while they were in prison. Or...
Basically, I don't know, but it's a brutal murder with a shotgun, and that is a messy way to go.
Yep.
So it was, but yeah, I won that episode, and Tyler still doesn't think I should have, but it's the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
And
no, I get it. I'm just saying mine was better.
Oh, the ABC did a special, like where they did like the reenactment, kind of like the People versus OJ.
Isn't there a like I feel like there's a Netflix show that's about to come out about the Menendez brothers.
Really?
I might be making that up, but I feel like
it might be, but I hope it's true.
I feel like that's coming out. I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Well, there's also a really good 2020, and then also just there's a lot.
Is 2020 the one with Barbara Walters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So
I love Barbara Walters.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
she's amazing.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. So
it's gonna be a long video, y'all. We are to episode 10 out of 33,
and we're 30 minutes in. So, is that saying we can have... Oh, no, just kidding. I thought it was saying we can be up to 2 hours, but that's showing the size of the video. Yeah, anyway, so Cold Cases Defrosted was episode 10.
Yes, and this one was so interesting because it really changed my mind in changed my view of what cold cases were. Because I always think of them as like these cases that are from, decades ago that are just, sitting there in a box, and it's just a case where all the leads are dry.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go at this time, so it could be a fairly new case, like mine was.
Yours was, and which one did you do again?
Mine was the murder of Michelle Lozano and Brianna Guzman.
Oh, yeah.
2 young women in Los Angeles that were brutally murdered and dumped off the side of the freeway. And it was cold for a long time. But Giovanni Borjas, who was the killer, was finally caught after they could prove it with a DNA link, I believe.
Yeah.
His father had DNA that was in the prison system, but they needed Giovanni's. And he spit on the ground. And they grabbed that DNA and were able to prove it.
Yeah. That one was rough to listen to.
Yeah.
So mine was the murder of Beth Bromlett. And this was one that happened in the 80s. And this was a Texas murder.
Mm-hmm.
And, she had gone to a party and never returned home. And, all the leads were followed.
This was just outside of Waco, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It went cold.
We're about that, y'all.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, my computer decided 33 minutes was enough, which is rude because we were almost done.
Yes, because we are doing this in 3 parts.
Yes.
As you can tell, we have a lot to say and a lot of episodes.
But how did yours finish?
So back to Beth Bromlett. This was a Texas case, and it was cold for 36 years until they found out that her best friend's dad was the one that killed her. Picked her up as she was walking home from the party and was not there to be a helping hand. He was there to be a murdering hand.
Yeah.
So
that is our part 1 of our year in review.
Yes.
First 10 episodes. Let us know what topic in the first 10 episodes was your favorite.
Yeah, what did you think of the cases we picked? Were there ones you hated?
What was your favorite?
Oh, gosh. The first 10. Honestly, the first one.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's because, Dahmer is my favorite, and that story. It's a real life thing. It's so convoluted, and he's so broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he was such a broken individual. And I hate that he was murdered in prison.
Yeah, no, there's so many more answers that could be had.
Yes.
And more insight into
like the psychological things that were going on in his head and why he did what he did. And, I do feel like investigators and psychologists were able to get a lot of information from him.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just a lot that you can learn from an individual who expresses themselves that way. I think that's why I'm really into true crime. It's more so the like how and why someone would do that.
That makes sense.
And for the people who are like psychopaths, you know, and they have no empathy and any of that, it's like what how are they like that? You know, a killer, is he born or bred?
That's fair. Okay.
So, what was your favorite?
My favorite, I'm gonna go Small Town Slaughter. I'm gonna go with Georgia Cruz because I mean, all of our victims deserve so much more, but yeah, she's the one that sticks with me, even through all of the cases we've done. There's something about that one that was a major one. So. And also, I mean, even just the small town aspect, y'all know my fears on small towns and why I will never live in one. Yeah. But just that, oh God, yeah. Anyway, that one, I think, favorite. Yeah.
Favorite, as we talked about in the first episode. Hard word to use, but
it is.
It's the only word we could.
Anyway, thank y'all so much for all of your support, for
literally
everything.
Could not do this without you guys. Thank you.
2018 has been incredible. We started the podcast and just from day one, recording it on my kitchen table to where we are now.
On my couch.
We moved apartments.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like, just the growth was so unexpected. This is something that we just thought would be really fun to do, just the two of us, and we love being able now to do this not only for ourselves but for y'all as well. And again, couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. We will soon be announcing to you guys what y'all have helped us.
Yes.
Be able to get to make 2019 even better.
I'm so excited.
And, you know, things are just looking up. Yes. So thank y'all so much. And
be prepared for part 2 coming out soon.
Part 2 and
part
3.
So.
And we'll get those out, you know, soon.
When we get them out.
Soon. I mean, y'all, it's about to be New Year, so obviously we're going to celebrate, you know, ring in the new year, and then we'll get out part 2 and 3.
Yes, we will.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
XOXO.
Blood and Wine signing off.
Bye.
Bye.